Hey there! Ever wonder why it seems that girls become grown-ups way before boys do? Picture this. You're in the schoolyard, and while the boys are racing to see who can run the fastest with their shoelaces tied together, the girls are off to the side, chatting away as they're already planning their next big adventure or figuring out how to solve that super hard math problem from class. Girls seem to hit the fast-forward button on growing up. They're swapping secrets, making plans, and somehow they just get things quicker. Boys? Well, we're still laughing at the word but. It's weird, right? How girls seem to know what's up, keeping everything cool and collected, while some of us are just trying to learn not to wear the same shirt 3 days in a row. So what's the deal? Why do girls seem to zoom ahead, learning all the secret adult tricks while boys are still trying to perfect their armpit fart noises? Is it something in the water? A secret club? Or maybe, just maybe, there's a little bit of science magic at play here. So let's crack this case wide open. We'll explore the world of growing up, where girls are sprinting ahead and boys are taking their sweet time, enjoying the view. The biological boogaloo. Welcome to the saga of why girls mature faster than boys, or as I like to call it, nature's practical joke on humanity. When it comes to the battle of the sexes, Mother Nature decided to give girls a head start. And the reasons are as fascinating as finding out your ancestors were part-time mammoth wrestlers. Let's dive into the gene pool. No, not the kind with water and floaties, but the one that decides whether you'll conquer the monkey bars before your peers. You see, every human has 23 pairs of chromosomes, and it's the 23rd pair, the sex chromosomes, that play a pivotal role in this drama. Girls rock the XX combination, while boys boast an XY lineup. This chromosomal duo acts as the command center for puberty, sending out signals like a bossy traffic cop directing hormonal traffic through your body. Now, puberty isn't just about who gets taller faster or who has to start shaving first. It's about hormones, those tiny chemical messengers that have more influence over your body than your desire to eat ice cream for breakfast. For girls, estrogen is the star of the show, kicking off a series of events that lead to physical growth, the development of secondary sexual characteristics, and a brain that's wired to navigate the social complexities of middle school with the precision of a seasoned diplomat. But here's where things get interesting. Estrogen doesn't just clock in, do its job, and clock out. No, it's more proactive, working to accelerate bone growth and close the growth plates earlier, which explains why girls often stop growing sooner than boys. It's as if estrogen is the overachiever of hormones, determined to get everything done ahead of schedule. On the flip side, boys are under the influence of testosterone, a hormone that takes its sweet time. Testosterone is responsible for muscle growth, deepening of the voice, and that sudden need to do chin-ups on every door frame. But here's the kicker. Testosterone's effects take longer to show up, which means boys usually start puberty later and finish it with the grand finale of a growth spurt that can leave them towering over their female peers, if only for a while. But puberty is more than just growing taller and figuring out that deodorant is non-negotiable. It's about brain development too. During this tumultuous time, the brain undergoes significant changes that affect everything from emotional regulation to risk assessment. Girls develop connections between the hemispheres of their brains faster, enhancing their ability to multitask and process emotions. Boys, meanwhile, experience an increase in gray matter, which improves spatial reasoning and physical coordination, explaining the sudden urge to learn skateboard tricks that defy gravity and common sense. The brain game. In the world of growing up, our brains are similar to busy builders, working day and night to construct the way we think, feel, and understand the world around us. As we journey through childhood into the realm of teenagers and then adults, our brains are constantly changing, getting stronger, and making new connections. For girls, the brain starts its major construction project a bit earlier than for boys. This isn't just about learning math problems or how to write essays. It's about how girls process information, understand emotions, and handle multiple tasks at once. Their brains get really good at these jobs early on, making them quick to master the art of conversation, empathy, and even figuring out complex feelings. Boys' brains are on their own unique schedule. They excel at spatial reasoning and abstract thinking, which involves understanding how things fit together and solving puzzles without clear instructions. While girls are becoming experts in emotions and communication, boys are becoming masters of strategy and spatial tasks. A big part of growing up is learning how to deal with feelings. Girls develop a strong network in their brains for this pretty early. They become champions at recognizing emotions, not just in themselves, but in others too. This helps them build strong friendships and navigate the social world with ease. Boys also learn to manage emotions, but their path is different. They might not talk about feelings as much, focusing instead on actions or solving problems. It doesn't mean they don't care. They just show it in different ways, like standing up for a friend or trying to fix a problem. Attention and focus can be tricky for anyone, but as kids grow up, these skills start to look different in girls and boys. Girls often become great at paying attention for longer periods and juggling different tasks without losing track. This is super helpful in school, where you need to listen to the teacher, remember your homework, and plan your week all at once. Boys might find their attention jumping from one thing to another, making it a challenge to sit still or focus on homework for too long. But this energy and curiosity also lead to creativity and innovation, pushing them to explore and ask questions about how things work. Society's speed bumps. Ever notice how the world expects different things from boys and girls, even when they're just kids? As society has this old, dusty rulebook nobody remembers writing, but everyone follows. Girls get dolls that cry and need care, teaching them empathy and responsibility from the get-go. Boys. They get action figures with muscles you didn't even know existed, priming them for a life of adventure and, well, more muscles. Girls often hear they need to be nice, polite, and look out for others. Might look that they're training for a marathon where the finish line is being the most understanding person in the room. Boys, on the other hand, are told to toughen up, not cry, and basically become mini superheroes minus the capes. The message: emotions are for the weak, and problem-solving means punching it or blowing it up, metaphorically speaking. Now enter school, the grand arena where these societal lessons get put to the test. Girls, already on the fast track to becoming mini-adults, navigate the complex social labyrinths of friendships with the skill of seasoned diplomats. Boys find camaraderie in chaos, bonding over the latest prank or who can run the fastest while ignoring the basic principles of gravity. Teachers, bless their souls, often reinforce these invisible guidelines. Be a good girl means sitting quietly and listening. Boys will be boys translates to, we expected the chaos, and it's fine, as long as nobody loses an eye. The result? Girls polishing their multitasking and emotional intelligence like hidden gems, while boys perfect the art of the grand, often messy, gesture. Let's not forget the world outside, where media and pop culture throw their own curveballs. Girls grow up with stories of princesses saved by princes, subtly hinting that waiting for a hero is a viable life strategy. Meanwhile, boys consume tales of lone warriors defeating evil, learning that success is a solo mission involving lots of flexing and zero discussions about feelings. In the end, society sets up these speed bumps on the road to maturity, shaping expectations and experiences in wildly different ways for boys and girls. But here's the kicker. Everyone eventually figures out that the rulebook is outdated and ripe for a rewrite. Girls and boys alike learn that it's okay to mix and match the lessons they've been taught, creating their own paths filled with empathy, strength, and the courage to challenge what it means to truly grow up. The emotional escalator. Welcome to the emotional escalator, where feelings go up, down, and sometimes get stuck between floors. As kids climb this escalator towards the mysterious world of being a grown-up, girls and boys tackle the ride with their own unique flair. Girls, armed with their early lessons in empathy and communication, navigate the escalator with the finesse of experienced travelers. They understand the unspoken language of emotions, decoding sighs and reading between the lines of a friend's "I'm fine." This emotional toolkit not only makes them adept at handling their own feelings, but also turns them into the go-to counselors among their peers. When drama unfolds in the schoolyard, girls are on the front lines, offering hugs, advice, and sometimes a shoulder to cry on. Boys, meanwhile, approach the emotional escalator with a different strategy. Taught to keep a stiff upper lip, They might not dive deep into emotional waters openly, but that doesn't mean they're sailing emotion-free seas. Instead, boys often express their feelings through actions. A pat on the back, showing up when it counts, and loyalty speak volumes of their emotional depth. They form bonds through shared activities, finding brotherhood in the heat of a soccer game or the camaraderie of a group project gone awry. But here's where the plot thickens. Emotions are tricky, and the escalator doesn't always come with a manual. Girls, despite their early start in emotional intelligence, sometimes find the intensity of feelings overwhelming. The pressure to always understand and nurture can be a heavy mantle to bear, leading to moments of doubt and anxiety. Boys, navigating the no tears policy, often discover that emotions can't be boxed up and shelved away. The quest to always appear strong can lead to confusion and frustration, an inner turmoil that begs the question, isn't there more to strength than just muscle? As our intrepid travelers continue their journey, they learn that emotions aren't a battlefield to conquer, but a landscape to explore. Girls and boys alike discover that vulnerability isn't weakness, but a superpower in its own right. It allows for genuine connections, deep friendships, and the courage to face their own reflections with honesty and compassion. Through trials, errors, and endless loops on the emotional escalator, kids learn the most important lesson of all. Being true to oneself isn't about fitting into a mold, but breaking free from it. As they reach the top of the escalator, stepping into the vast halls of adolescence, they carry with them the knowledge that emotions are not just feelings to be felt, but bridges to be built, connecting us in ways words alone cannot express. The survival skills of sisterhood. In the wild jungles of childhood, where the laws of the playground reign supreme, girls and boys forge alliances, build empires, and occasionally trade snacks as if they were priceless treasures. But there's something remarkable about the way girls band together, a phenomenon that might as well be considered one of the world's wonders: the sisterhood. The sisterhood is not just a group of friends. It's a tactical unit with the emotional intelligence of seasoned diplomats and the resourcefulness of MacGyver. Girls in the sisterhood navigate the social hierarchies of school life with a blend of grace and strategic planning worthy of a military general. They share secrets like classified intel, support each other through the drama like seasoned therapists, and when necessary, execute covert operations to retrieve confiscated contraband from behind enemy lines, also known as the teacher's desk. Now you might think, but boys have their own version of this, right? Absolutely. Boys form bonds as strong as the glue they're not supposed to be eating. However, their alliances often resemble a band of pirates more than a tactical unit. Loyalty is measured in dares, friendships are forged in the fires of competition, and leadership is determined by who can burp the loudest. It's less about emotional support and more about who has your back in the great quest for the last slice of pizza. But back to the sisterhood. These alliances are not just about surviving the social wilderness of youth, they're about thriving in it. The sisterhood teaches its members valuable life skills: negotiation, convincing everyone to agree on a game to play; diplomacy, mediating disputes over who said what about whom; and espionage, gathering intel on the cute new kid in class. These are the unsung heroes who understand that knowledge is power, especially when it comes to knowing who has a crush on whom. As members of the sisterhood navigate through growth spurts and the awkward phases of braces, they do so with the understanding that no woman is left behind. They celebrate each other's victories, whether it's acing a test or finally mastering the art of the perfect ponytail, with the enthusiasm of a sports team winning the championship.
Yay!
But perhaps the most crucial lesson the sisterhood imparts is that of resilience. In a world that often tells girls they're too this or not enough that, the sisterhood stands as a testament to the power of unity and mutual respect. It's a safe harbor in the stormy seas of adolescence, where every member knows that being different isn't just okay, it's celebrated.
Yay!
And so, as the girls of the sisterhood march on, armed with inside jokes and shared memories, they do so knowing that together they can face anything the wild jungles of childhood throw their way. Because in the end, the sisterhood isn't just about surviving, it's about learning how to live. Ah, puberty. Nature's way of saying, congratulations, you've survived childhood. Now, let's make everything weird. Puberty can be compared to a software update that you never asked for and comes with features you're not sure how to use of, or if you really need them. For example, hair in unwanted places, or zits. For girls and boys, this update installs at different times and comes with a variety of bug fixes and new features, some more baffling than others. For girls, the puberty update usually kicks in between ages 8 and 13. Nature, in its infinite wisdom, decided that girls should get a head start in the race to adolescence. This early start means girls begin to experience growth spurts, developing at the speed of a well-nourished bamboo plant. They also start to accumulate what scientists call adipose tissue, but what everyone else calls, why don't my old jeans fit anymore? Then there's the menstrual cycle, a monthly subscription to a package no one remembers signing up for. They're getting a monthly bill for a service that includes mood swings, cravings, and the magical ability to cry at commercials. Boys, on the other hand, hit the puberty button a bit later, usually between ages 9 and 14. Their growth spurt turns them into overnight beanstalks, often accompanied by voice cracks that could be mistaken for Morse code. Testosterone, the main hormone behind male puberty, also encourages the growth of facial hair, transforming peach fuzz into what can generously be called a beard. Muscle development increases, giving boys the sudden urge to arm wrestle, lift heavy objects for no reason, and adopt poses that they believe are the epitome of cool. Testosterone is also responsible for the increase in sweat production, introducing boys to the world of deodorant and the harsh reality that, yes, showering is now non-negotiable. One of the most entertaining features of male puberty is the unpredictable voice change. 1 minute, a boy can be speaking in a baritone so deep it could narrate documentaries, and the next, he's hitting notes only dogs can hear. It's nature's way of keeping ego in check, a reminder that no matter how tall or muscular you get, you can still sound like a squeaky toy at the most inopportune moments. Despite these dramatic changes, both girls and boys eventually learn to navigate the choppy waters of puberty. They come to understand that growth spurts, voice changes, and even unexpected emotional torrents are just part of the journey. And while it may feel that nature's playing a cruel joke, these changes are the building blocks of adulthood, preparing kids for the next chapter in the great adventure of life. So, whether you're stockpiling acne cream or learning the art of the subtle voice crack cover-up, remember, puberty is just nature's way of upgrading you to version 2.0. Sure, the installation process might be a bit messy, but the new features are pretty amazing once you get the hang of them. Evolutionary expeditions. Let's trek through the wild, uncharted territories of why girls and boys mature at different speeds from an evolutionary standpoint. First off, let's talk about brain development. Studies show that girls' brains tend to reach full maturity around the age of 22, while boys' brains play the long game, not fully maturing until around age 25. Now, you might wonder, what were the brains doing for those extra 3 years? Well, for boys, it seems like they're taking a scenic route, absorbing all the life lessons from every possible detour. But why this difference? Evolution has a quirky sense of humor. It turns out surviving the Ice Age required more than just a good fur coat. It required social cohesion and communication, traits that girls excel at from an early age thanks to their rapid brain development. Essentially, while the boys were out trying to spear a woolly mammoth, the girls were making sure the community stayed together, shared resources, and didn't eat all the berries in one go. Now, on to the physical side of things. The reason girls hit puberty earlier than boys could be nature's way of ensuring that the species keeps on keeping on. With a head start on reproduction, humanity stood a better chance against mammoths, saber-toothed tigers, and that one cave neighbor who always borrowed fire and never returned it. But evolution didn't just decide to give girls a swifter passage through puberty for funsies. There's a theory that suggests earlier maturation could be linked to survival tactics. Back when choosing a partner resembled browsing the shelves of the Paleolithic era's version of a supermarket, females who matured earlier had more shopping time, giving them a better chance to pick a mate who wouldn't get lost on the way back from hunting. For boys, the delay in hitting puberty might have been nature's way of ensuring they were physically and mentally prepared for the challenges of prehistoric bachelorhood. After all, building muscles, developing spatial awareness to dodge a charging mastodon, and perfecting the art of unibrow grooming took time and energy. In the grand scheme of things, These evolutionary tweaks make sense. They were nature's beta test for creating a species capable of surviving a world where takeout meant chasing your dinner across the plains, and where ghosting someone might mean getting lost in an actual forest.